I would never wish what happened to me on my worst enemy, but it's about coming out stronger and coming out on the other end. And I think I can give hope to some people that, there is another end to this. There is another side.
Steven Muehlhausen here for the Takedown on Sports Illustrated. She really doesn't need too much of an introduction. She will be participating in the women's WarGames match this coming Saturday at Survivor Series from Rogers Arena in Vancouver, British Columbia. You can watch it live on Peacock here in the United States and everywhere else around the world on the WWE Network. She'll be teaming with Liv Morgan. Are we okay to say besties? Is that?
I would even say sisters. We are sisters. We're more than besties.
Sisters. So we got you, Liv Morgan. We got Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. And you're going against Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. We got a little beef with Rhea. We'll get into that little beef with Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
We got Naomi, Io Sky, and the fifth person hasn't officially been announced yet.
Well, actually, as of last night, she has.
You know what? I was sick.
Oh, that's okay.
A fever. I went to bed, Raquel, and I'm not going to lie. I got two kids. I went to bed at like 7:30.
Oh, good for you. Sometimes you need that.
I went to bed, and I'm like, so the phone really hasn't been on too much this morning beyond just talking to my wife and very quick. But I did not know. The fifth person is Bayley.
Yes.
So for everyone that does not know, and now we have a beef already. And this is, I check your social media, and you besmirched and tore down the great name of In-N-Out Burger.
Well, terrible. So here's the...
Terrible.
Listen, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. What we got at In-N-Out when I went with my dad was absolutely horrendous. We both were like, we haven't had In-N-Out Burger in a while. And me, because of my illness this past year, I was also being very picky about what I was eating because I didn't know if food was making me react. And I was like, I'm really craving just a good hamburger with some French fries. And I'm like, yeah, Whataburger's right there. Even though I haven't had Whataburger in a year, I want to give In-N-Out a try because all my friends keep talking about how it's better than Whataburger and how they love it. From what I remember, Whataburger still reigns supreme. But Dad, hey, let's go try In-N-Out. So we go to In-N-Out. I get the onion type of burger, the animal style, which was good. It was good. It was what I expected. But deep down inside, I was telling myself, wow, I could make this better at home. And then I got to the fries. And the fries are very important for me. Like Whataburger has spicy ketchup. And Whataburger has fries that even after a while, they still taste pretty good. In-N-Out's burgers, the second they get cold, they are like starchy. They're just like shoestrings. I couldn't even finish my fries. I was a little upset, a little heartbroken. In-N-Out really did just disappoint that day.
Now, are you based in Las Vegas?
No, I'm based in Texas now. And so we just got an In-N-Out in the Woodlands.
Okay. Now, when the next time you guys go to Vegas, that is the one you got. There's no other one.
Okay.
No offense to Texas. I'm based in Chicago. We don't have them here in Chicago. We have Whataburger. You got to hit the one in Las Vegas. That is, and Greg will tell you the same thing. I've been there with Greg. Greg will tell you, you have to go to the In-N-Out Burger in Las Vegas. So that's definitely one you have to go to. And Whataburger's not bad. The fries are solid. I'm a fries person. Like, that is the first thing I eat when I open my meal is the French fries.
They're important.
They are. They're very important. Now,
they're at least 60 to 50% of a rating on a hamburger meal, in my opinion. Like, the fries got to kill. They got to come in clutch, They're part of the burger.
Now, they have to reach out to you about a sponsorship deal.
Whataburger?
This is such a hard sell here. Whataburger's like, you got to tag them on Instagram and X.
I do. They know their Texas girl here always supports because they have the best breakfast. Sometimes I wait, like when we would have these live events in Florida, I would wait till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, just so I made it to Whataburger on time to get the honey butter chicken biscuit or to even just make my own burger. Like, there's something about being able to put a whole bunch of stuff on your burger, like jalapenos and mustard and cheese, and have as many patties as you want. Like, there's just something about Whataburger giving it to me unlimited that makes me feel powerful. I think that's what it is. I have a power when I'm there.
Yeah. It's been a year for you. It's not a year that one would wish on anybody, even on their worst enemy. And, you know, when you came down with your illness, you know, because you look at even like you're at the elimination chamber, and then it was like we didn't really see you, and really no one knew what was going on until you took to social media and you made that decision to do that. And do you call that the most difficult time of your life? Because I don't know if there were quite a bit. My wife's a nurse, so we've had that conversation. And
Yeah.
you, how scared were you that be able to do something as it's something as trivial as even doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I was very scared, thinking about it even now, because I thought about coming to social media, and I will get more to social media to tell other people who are struggling with skin conditions and struggling with autoimmune diseases. There's different options, and I want to tell everyone what I did to get back to my healthiest. But yeah, it was definitely the hardest part of my life because it was like everything just crumbled at once, like first I'm getting a rash on my skin, so I'm looking in the mirror and I'm not recognizing who I'm seeing, and I'm going out in public because I'm still trying to wrestle and I'm still trying to be a part of this company, but I can feel people looking at me, and my confidence was starting to wane on me. My I was just not feeling good at all being in public areas or talking to people. And then after elimination chamber, what had happened was, I had come down with it in November, and then I was trying to heal, and finally by February I thought I had a good handle on things. So I came back for elimination chamber, and somewhere in between the makeup at Raw and the wrestling and jumping on a flight to Australia and the flight to Australia, my face just blew up. So I woke up on the plane. I was popping all these Benadryls on the plane because I was like,
Oh my
it'll
god!
go down. I'm sure it'll go down. And then by the time we landed in Australia, it was not down. So of course I had to go see a doctor. I had to get a steroid shot just to help get me home pretty much, get the swelling down so that I could get on a flight to come home. And it helped me get through the match. I couldn't wear makeup because my skin was just still so sensitive and red. But yeah, coming back from that was hard because it just got worse once I got home. And the best part about it was that I was home. I was with family. I had my parents here to support me. They were helping me nonstop. But there's still something about being a grown up and having your dream job and then having all of that just taken away from you. And people in my life that were supposed to be my friends, I no longer heard from. They just kind of disappeared. And so I just kept trying to tell myself, this is going to be a challenging thing, but this is a challenge of my faith. This is a challenge of my ability to fight back and my ability to keep just pushing forward as long as it takes. I knew it was going to take a long time. All the doctors told me it was going to be a journey, but I just kept telling myself we have to keep pushing forward because this will all come to an end. It has to come to an end. Nothing lasts forever, right? And if you can
Yeah.
stay on a good track of trying to find that healing course and just being positive about yourself, that for me is what helped me. I had to learn how to regulate my stress. I had to learn how to cook better for myself, how making better choices when it came to like supplements and foods and things I was putting in my body, because my body just wasn't detoxing. It wasn't
Yeah.
getting rid of all the stuff that we're exposed to every day. And women, of course, are even worse. Women are exposed to 100 plus more chemicals than men because of the makeup and the stuff that we put on our faces and our bodies. And so I feel like I learned a lot. It was really, really hard. Like you said, I would never wish what happened to me on my worst enemy, but it's about coming out stronger and coming out on the other end. And I think I can give hope to some people that, there is another end to this. There is another side.
Did you ever, when you're going through this, and for people, and I should have said this at the beginning, you had mast cell activation syndrome,
Yeah,
and
so I had a mixture of things. So the first doctor told me mast cell activation
okay,
syndrome, and then all of my dermatologists kept saying it was just eczema. I got tested for all of the autoimmune diseases. I think what happened was it was a bunch of things at once, and my nervous system just like broke
okay,
down. And I had like a really big attack on my nervous system. My lymphatic system wasn't detoxing like it was supposed to be. So I think it was just a whole lot of things that were happening in my life at this time that just kind of like attacked my immune system and then put me in
yeah.
that position.
Thank you for clearing that up because that really hasn't been out there, so I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
was there ever a point, because I talk to fighters and wrestlers, and we talk about injuries, and when something like this, I've never talked to anyone that has had this issue. And was there ever a thought though in your mind where you're like, maybe this just isn't meant to be anymore, and maybe my dream, I got to live it, I got to hold the championship, and I'm gonna have to go do something else.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think like that's any athlete or fighters or wrestlers position when they do get injured or when they are taken out. It's like, all of a sudden you're busy, 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 and you have all these things. You have Raw, you have SmackDown, you're on the road, you have interviews, you have appearances, and all of a sudden it just stops. And for a second you're like, I've been doing this for so many years. This is what I've been working for. This has been my dream, and now it's just gone. What do I do? What's next? And I think that's the hard part. For a lot of us is that we struggle with what's next. And I had to think
Yeah.
about it for almost a year. Just keep that in mind. Like I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell myself that it's completely over, because I feel like I can get over this and I can get through this, but I do need to have an idea of what I am going to do if this doesn't work out. And so it really put a big perspective into my mind when it came to like wrestling and my real life and what I'm going to do outside of wrestling. Because as I know too, like wrestling is the best thing ever. I love it. It's been my dream since I was a little girl, since I was watching my dad do it. But I know I can't do it forever. My body won't allow me to do it forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it definitely put into perspective a lot of things, but you do get that scaredness of like, this has been my rock for years. This has been my relationship. This has been my life. This has been my everything. What am I going to do now? It was like having a breakup with wrestling, but not fully. And I was like, oh, it might be harder than a real breakup. I don't know.
You know, when did you feel like you're going through all this? You're unsure of your career, unsure of what is going to happen. When did you start turning the corner?
um, Honestly, every day was kind of a fight for me. So it was like, I was seeing lots of doctors, I was seeing lots of healers. My parents were really trying to help me, keep strong to my faith and keep positive about every day. But every day was different with this. Like, some days I would wake up and I was like, wow, okay, we're just shedding a little bit. We're a little dry. I'm a little itchy, but I think mentally I can tell myself not to scratch. I can tell myself to just hold back, and I can get through today. But then there was days that I would wake up and my eyes were crusted shut. I had lymphatic fluid just coming out of my neck, coming out of my pores. I would wake up and it was like I was asleep on the beach in sand, because I was shedding so much skin that there was just skin everywhere. It was really hard. It was really disgusting, because you don't feel like yourself and you feel gross at the same time. And so those days were really hard for me. Those days I definitely stayed on the couch. I tried to distract myself with other things like movies, or I would go into the kitchen, and if I couldn't do something cleanly, then I would clean, or I would organize, or I would try and cook. I tried to go outside as much as I can in my yard with my dogs, just to keep myself distracted. Um, but yeah, every day was really just a struggle. It wasn't until maybe a month before my return that I started to feel like there was a consistent, amount of days where I was just healthy, small little breakouts here and there, which now that I've been back on the road, I still get small little breakouts here and there, but nothing compared to what it
Yeah.
was when I was completely taken out of action. So, I mean, yeah, every day definitely is a struggle with these things, because you don't know what's causing it. It could be food, but then you're eating the same thing. And then it could be the atmosphere, but you're always in the same atmosphere, the same environment, the same allergies. It was really confusing. I'm still very confused by it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Most people come back from hiatus and they come back as a baby face. You just come back and said, "No, you know what? We're gonna flip this here, and we're gonna attack. We're gonna be the heel." And that was pretty dastardly. I'm not gonna lie. You came back at bad blood. My kids are excited. They're fans of Rhea. They're fans of Liv. And they come out and they're mad at you because they were starting to turn to Rhea. Dom's hanging for dear life, and
I mean,
I'm,
poor
I'm,
Dom
I'm going
Dom.
to I'm going to the dark side of life.
Well, poor Dom Dom. All right. First of all, he's not a piñata. Rhea should not have just been swinging at him, hoping for candy to fall out. That's not what was going to happen. Okay.
I'm Dom. Well, that's Rhea called him. Uh-oh. I'm not trying to cause trouble here.
Yeah, I know. But, I just like to egg those little things at her because, I mean, Rhea was supposed to be my friend too, but where was she? Where was she when all of this was going down? Where has she been? Even when I got my call up to the main roster in the beginning and she was already there, where was she? If not hanging on the dark side, doing all these cool things with her friends, making it look really fun and cool. So, I decided when I was coming back this time, it was hard for me. But when I had originally got called up to the main roster, I was immediately a baby face, big smile on my face, always told to keep smiling on my face. Even in the days that I was mad, put a smile on your face. And I think that's, kind of another story for more people out there who are struggling with showing their true feelings, because deep down inside of me, I didn't want to smile. There was stuff going on in my life that didn't make me want to smile. But every night I went out there and I smiled for the crowd. I smiled for these people who didn't give nothing for me. I mean, I was going to say a bad word, but they didn't give, poop about me. They didn't give caca about me. They were like, who cares? She's just some big girl out here showing off her back, putting on this big old smile. I wish she would stop smiling because she's so annoying. And that's fine. That's fine. They can think what they want, but for me, that was my cover up for what was really going on. And so finally falling into like this year long of really having these realizations of my life and the people in it and what was going on, I realized who were the strongest people for me and who were the closest people to me and who were there for me. Liv never stopped reaching out. No matter how busy she was, no matter, she was at home dealing with her own shoulder injury, she always reached out to me. She always checked up on me. She always sent me something nice. She tried multiple times to come visit me as well. So, I mean, you just go where things feel right, where things feel loyal. And Liv has always been number one for me.
Two more questions for Helen. Thank you so much for the time today. It's greatly appreciated. And you, like you said at the beginning, it's not besties. See, now the sisters thing makes it all falls in together. So now that
my hermanita, yeah, I gotta protect her.
You do, and this is the most demonic match to me in all of wrestling. This goes back to the '80s in WCW, and WWE has brought it in the last few years. And how do you prepare for this? Because there is no prepare. And I've talked to people in this match before, and they always tell me, Steve, there's no way you can prepare for this. It's just pray before you walk out. You say you wish to take care of everybody. You wish each other good luck, and just pray to God no one gets hurt. Is that kind of where? Do you watch any matches beforehand, or watch any previous WarGames matches, or you just like do what I just said? You pray and just try to make it out victorious, but also make sure you and your teammates are not hurt.
Yeah, so this is going to be my third WarGames match. So I was in 2 in NXT, and
yeah, that's right. Yes,
I don't mean to brag, but we were victorious both times.
Ooh,
so I feel like I do have a pretty good record.
I was at that first one, and when you guys were in Chicago, I do remember.
Yeah, that was the first. The girls.
Yes.
That was the first ever women's WarGames run. Yeah, the 2 that I were in were unfortunately in COVID era, so they were at NXT. But still really cool. I beat the first time I was on Team Candice, and I beat Io Shirai for Team Candice. And then the second time I was back to the good side. I was a baby face with Cora Jade, and Cora Jade won over JC Jane to beat Toxic Attraction. So it was a good 2 WarGames for us. And so I feel like coming into this one, yeah, it's really hard to prepare because we're not always picking up kendo sticks and tables and chairs and throwing them at people, right? Like, what do you do? But there is a way to prepare. You can think about like, ooh, okay, if this, because you never know what's out there. There could be many weapons. What's around the ring? What's under the ring? How can I use it to my advantage? How can my team use it to my advantage? I definitely watch a lot of old WarGames matches because as the athlete in me, I like to have some tape to go through before a big competition. So I do watch. I try to look for things that might be similar to my style, things that might be similar to someone else's style on the other team, just in case they're thinking those things. But I know what most of these girls bring. I know what Bianca Belair is going to bring. She's been in WarGames before. Same for Rhea Ripley. So even just watching their WarGames, their past WarGames matches, I feel like is going to help us prepare immensely. But we have such a good, solid team. I mean, think about it. We have the women's world champion. We have Nia Jax, who's also a champion. We have Miss Money in the Bank, one of the youngest in WWE. I think she was under ESPN's top 30 for under 30. Yeah. So we have Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, We are so lucky to have Candice LeRae on our team. She is a genius when it comes to anything with weapons, anything with cages. I mean, I've been on her team and we've won before. So I think, having her and I there together, we're going to help really bring this one home for us because our team, just looking at us, we are stacked. I feel bad for the other girls. They're a little, Jade got taken out. Ooh, sorry. So I guess we'll let Pamela in. But we don't really like Pamela. How are they all going to get along with that attitude,
You had nothing to do with that attack, right?
What happened to Jade was very unfortunate, but we have to all look forward and we just have to keep pushing forward onto what's next. And that's WarGames in Vancouver, Canada. This is big.
And with this, how does your team, Victorious, and so you, Raquel Rodriguez, remain undefeated inside the WarGames?
How do we remain undefeated?
How do you remain undefeated and you lead? Because you're the captain. Let's just be honest. You got the most experience. No offense, you and Candice. It's Team Raquel. How do you emerge victorious coming up on Saturday inside the WarGames?
I mean, it's definitely going to be us just fighting until that very end. Because I think, once we have our whole team in there, Liv, me, Naya, Tiffany, Candice, then we are going to be unstoppable. So it's really about keeping everyone healthy until that point and tearing down the baby faces as much as we can, getting into their heads as much as we can. Once Pamela gets in there with Naomi and Bianca, and I mean, how much, and Io, how much beef do her and Io have about their old relationship and their past relationship? So really, I think that's what it is for us, is we have to get into their heads. We have to stay on top of our game and stay united as a team and just watch the other team just crumble and fall apart. That's how I see it going down.
The annual tradition on Thanksgiving weekend takes place on Saturday as WWE presents Survivor Series coming up from the Rogers Arena in Vancouver, British Columbia. You can watch it live here in the United States on Peacock and everywhere else around the world on the WWE Network. Like Raquel said, she'll be teaming with the two women's champions, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, along with Candice LeRae against Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. You call her Pamela. We call her Bailey. I like how you did that. Hey, Dad. Hey, and Io, Sky, and Naomi. We're looking forward to the match, Raquel. Thank you so much for your time. It's been one heck of a year for you. We're glad you're back in the ring. We hope you continue to get better, and we look forward to you remaining undefeated inside the WarGames on Saturday.
Thanks, Steven. I appreciate it. We'll see you in Vancouver.
Thank you. I will not be there. I have to be at home. My wife, Thanksgiving is I was telling Greg beforehand, Thanksgiving is the most important holiday in our house. So, but I will be at the World.
So well, tell the kids when I hit Rhea with that kendo stick for payback last Friday, that shot is for them. I did that for them. Let them know.
I'm going to show them that. Thank you so much, Raquel. We'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon. Bye, Steven. Thank you.